Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Diaries. I hope you're all doing well. This week on the podcast, I wanted to talk about what is mental health. What does mental health mean to you? What does mental health for new listeners that are not familiar with the channel? This channel is all about talking about mental health, ending the stigmas, discussing the discrimination against people with mental health. A lot of people still don't understand what mental health is. A lot of people still feel scared to talk about mental health. A lot of people still feel like they can't come forward because they're scared of maybe the shame that they're going to have, or the ridicule that they may have, or they may be called a liar, a hypochondriac. I've been called all these things because I have mental health. And because for a long time in my life, I didn't want to admit that I had mental health. That is why I suffered my breakdown last year in February. So it's very important that we recognize mental health, the importance of it, and what it can do to you, because it can have devastating effects, not only on your mental health, but your physical health as well. Um, and, it's funny, you know, if I go back 18 months ago, I was working all the hours under the sun, 50, 60 hours a week, throwing myself into my work, not looking after myself, not looking after my mental health, not taking time to switch off. But on the quiet, when I come home from work and had a shower and I'm in my bedroom and the door's locked, that is when the darkness used to creep in. And I never wanted to admit it to anyone. I never wanted to tell anyone that when that door was closed behind me, I wanted to kill myself. I hated myself. I still do. I was ashamed of the person that I was. I was ashamed of how I looked. I was ashamed of how I act. I was ashamed of what I've accomplished in my life so far, which is not much, let me tell you. The greatest achievement I've ever done in my life so far is my son. He's my greatest achievement. He's my legacy. Um, but mental health, for so long, I tried to ignore it. I tried to sweep it under the carpet. I tried to put it in a room, shut the door, and just leave it there. But one day last February, it bit back. I had a massive mental breakdown in work. I left work that day. And if you're previous viewers, you know the story from there. But sometimes you get new listeners and new viewers. I had a massive breakdown in February last year mentally. And I came home that day after leaving work to end my life. I decided that I wanted to end my life that day. So that's how important mental health is. That's the impact it can have on your life. So don't underestimate how important mental health is, not only to you and yourself, which you need to look after, but you also need to look at your circle of friends, your family, and because they might be suffering in silence, they might be going through what you are, but are just too scared to come forward and talk. So starting the conversation about mental health is probably the hardest thing to do, along with acceptance. Acceptance and asking for help are two of the hardest things to do on the road to recovery. But once you've done those two things, once you accept there's an illness, once you accept there's something wrong, you can get the help that you need. And it took me a long, long time before I accepted that I needed help, and I am where I am because of that. I've paid the price massively. I don't want anyone else out there to pay that price. I wouldn't wish how I feel on anyone else, not even my worst enemy. So please look after your mental health and respect it. Don't just think it's just a subject. Oh, they're going on about mental health again. Shut up, hypochondriacs. Get over it. You're just having a bad day. That is not the way to speak to someone who's suffering with mental health issues. You don't know what they're going through behind closed doors. So who are we to criticize people? Who are we to shame people? Who are we to question people when we don't know what they're feeling? Only they know what they're feeling. Who are we to question that? Who are you to question that? Their feelings are valid. It doesn't matter how big or small you might think they are. To that person, it's massive. So it needs to be validated. Why can't we just be there for someone, be present for someone, and show them that you're here to listen, that you're here for them, that they're not on their own, that it's okay to feel that way? We have too many stigmas. We have too much discrimination. Funny enough, on the 24th of this month, I'm doing an anti-stigma talk for a business in South Wales as part of my role as an ambassador and a champion for Time to Change Wales. Um, and part of that anti-stigma talk is understanding our language the use of the language we use when we talk to someone who's suffering with mental health. Words can hurt twice as much when you're speaking to someone with a mental health problem. You might not mean to be offensive with your words, but to someone with mental health, it can be catastrophic how we say things. So I just think we need to be aware of the language we use. We need to be a bit more kinder, a bit more understanding, and let other people know if that's how they're feeling. Then let's listen. Let's have a conversation about it. Don't ignore it. Don't invalidate it. Don't say to people you're not entitled to feel that way. You're just having a bad day. Move on. No, that's not what happens. My mental health drove me to 2 suicide attempts in 2022. That is how impactful it can be. We've lost many people to mental health problems because of the fear factor of coming out and saying I need help. And that just can't continue. It cannot continue much longer. Out of all the subjects in the world that's out there at the moment, of all the debates that's going on in the world out there at the moment, out of everything that's going on in the world, surely mental health should be right up there. Mental health should be in the top 3, 4, 5 subjects discussed, but it's not. Even the mainstream media don't talk enough about mental health. It doesn't. There is not one show on linear television dedicated to mental health awareness, talking about mental health stories, hints and tips, best practices, and stuff like that. You know, sharing experiences, sharing stories. Not one on current TV programming is there a show dedicated to mental health. When they talk about everything else under the sun, yet mental health doesn't get mentioned enough, and that needs to change. That's wrong. Mental health needs a show of its own. Instead of Piers Morgan Uncensored, it should be the Mental Health Diaries Uncensored, where I can talk about the stories in mental health, the mental health news, where we can discuss the problems that's in the mental health sector. We can discuss the mental health problems in the care sector, because believe me, there are massive problems in the care sector when it comes to mental health. Now, one day I want this channel to be that. Mental health for me now is a life goal to try and change mine and improve mine, but also try and help and improve other people as well. You know what I've done in the past, who I was in the past, the mistakes I've made, the mistakes other people have made against me, how they've made me feel, how I made other people feel. It's gone. I can't change it. If I could, I would, but I can't. Um, the past is the past. It's gone. The future's not here yet. Here and now, I'm creating content on the Mental Health Diaries, on YouTube, and YouTube's given me the platform to be able to speak my mind, speak about my intrusive thoughts, about my negativity, and share my story through mental health. Not, I can do that also with Time to Change Wales, um, because I'm an ambassador and a champion for them. But YouTube and my platform is about promoting positivity around mental health, sharing my story, and embracing everyone else's story as well. Because don't be ashamed of your story. Never be ashamed of it, because one day your story will inspire someone. It will. There will be someone out there going through what you've been through in life, and your story will inspire them one day. So believe in yourself, believe in your story, and speak passionately about it, because you have something to offer. You've made it through, and you're still fighting, because you've woken up today and you're still here. Every day that you wake up is a chance to change your life. Every day that you wake up is a chance to improve your position. Every day you wake up in life is a chance to prove someone wrong. Let me tell you something that you all need to hear. Let me tell you something that you're not. You are not someone else's opinion of yourself. You are you, and you're unique, and God made you in his image. You are special in your own right, and your story is special, and it deserves to be heard. How you feel needs to be validated, and it deserves to be validated. Your feelings are valid. Don't let anyone else tell you that you're not worth it. No one else is. Don't let anyone else tell you that they're better than you because they have more than you. You're all human beings. We're all human beings, and We were all made individually and unique, and that's what makes our story special, because it's unique, and it's your story. No one else can have it. It's yours. And no one else can take it away from you either. And that's a fact. When I first started thinking about being a creator on YouTube, I did a lot of research first. And I thought, I used to think to myself, who's going to want to listen to me? Who's gonna sit there and listen to me talk about mental health on YouTube? Am I going to be able to keep people's attention? Are they going to get bored straight away? Am I not engaging enough? Am I not charismatic enough? Do I not um, make people want to watch? But then I thought to myself, on the other hand, what have you got to lose? You've got nothing left to lose. And if no one listens and no one watches, at least you've talked about what's going on in your head. At least you've got it out there and you've verbalized it. And that is what I'm using. Doesn't matter how many views I get, doesn't matter how many views I don't get, it's still helping me with my mental health. This channel is. It's still allowing me to verbalize what's going on in my head. And that is beneficial to me. So if you want to share a story and you're scared about not getting views, doesn't matter. Talking helps. And by talking on this platform, whether you get views or not, it will help you in the long run. And everyone that's subscribed to the channel currently, I wanted to thank you for that. I thank you for supporting the channel and supporting my journey. Please keep liking the content and commenting. I interact with all my comments. I love to hear what you guys got to say about mental health. So please get in the comments. But please subscribe and let's grow the channel together. Share the videos, share the lives, and let's get this channel to the #1 destination for mental health talk. And let's give Piers Morgan a run for his money. Piers Morgan Uncensored, it should be the Mental Health Diaries Uncensored. And let's talk about mental health. He's got a slogan, if you're thinking about it, we're talking about it, bollocks. It's what you want to talk about, Piers. That's the most controversy you can have, you find, and that gets you the clicks. Talk about the real subjects. Talk about the real stories. Mental health is a real story, and it impacts so many people. It impacts me. But I'm strong enough to share my story. I've shouldered that burden for a long, long time, and I'm able now, and I'm resilient enough now to share my story without breaking down. That's not to say I won't break down, because I'm still a bit crazy. I still self-harm. I still want to commit suicide 90% of the time because I don't see the point in life. But there is 10% of me that's still going, that's hanging on to this channel, my son, my family, and everything else. So I'm working hard to try and get back to a better place through working with my counselor, working with my GP, and working with the medication I'm on. I'm trying to improve to get to a better place where I can say, I can control my mental health better now. I'm not there yet, but I will get there, and so will you. Just don't suffer in silence. Don't think that you're on your own, because you're not. There are many people out there struggling, just like myself, just like you. And together we can raise awareness. Together we can break the stigma. It's about how you face challenges. You might be scared of a challenge. A challenge might be hard, but face it head on and do your best. And you will overcome those fears just by standing up and facing it. You're not going to win every battle in life. Sometimes you're going to have to lose, but face everything that comes your way head on, and don't shy away from nothing or nobody. Believe in your principles, believe in your story, and stand strong. You were born a champion. You just haven't found your belt yet. Believe that. And your story will inspire someone one day, so don't be ashamed of it. Embrace it and be proud to tell your story on whatever platform you decide to use. Because one day someone will stumble across it. Because as soon as you upload on YouTube, you're immortalized. Your video's always there. You will one day be heard by someone who will be inspired by you. You control the outcome. We always did. And mental health isn't just something you get over. It's a journey. And you'll stop at many destinations on the way. But when you reach the end of that journey and you're at the top of the staircase to recovery, you will be the person that you're meant to be. Not the person the world wants you to be. You're gonna be the person you were meant to be. I know it's scary taking chances. I know it's scary taking risks. But what if? What if it turned out to be everything you ever wanted? Yes, it might fail. But what if? What if it turned out to be everything you ever wanted? You've got nothing to lose. So chase your dreams. Believe in yourself and believe in your story. This channel is a part of my journey on just a stop on one of many destinations that it's going to take me on. But for all I know, this could lead to different paths. Who knows what the future holds? But what I am doing today is believing in the channel, the story, the message, and I believe in you guys. Everyone who's watched my videos, everyone who's subscribed to the channel, everyone that's left a comment, you've impacted me in a positive way. So thank you for doing that. Check out the new edition of the podcast on Spotify as well. There's 7 episodes on there now on Spotify. So I'll drop the link in the video description. Head over there, check that out, give it a listen. Trying to grow the podcast on Spotify as well. And I think that's everything I wanted to say this week. All I can say is be who you are, not what everyone else in the world wants you to be. Have the courage to be yourself, because the hardest thing we can do in life is be ourselves, and that takes the most courage. So be yourself. Be yourself. And I promise you, good things will come to us eventually. Forgive yourself for the past and move on. Don't worry about the future. It hasn't happened yet. You can change your life now. You can dictate your life now. You can impact your life now. So go do it. Go do it. And one day, when you spread your wings and you fly, you're going to soar. And you will be lifted up to where you belong. Thank you for taking the time to watch the Mental Health Diaries podcast this week. Look after yourself, look after your family and friends, and I'll speak to you all soon. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Goodbye.